This interview is sponsored by MISO, a free app that lets you find healthy food places and fitness studios near you, and also in cities all around the world. Whether you're traveling to Chicago for work, moving to Hong Kong as an expat, to Paris for holiday, or just want to live healthier in your city, use the app MISO to quickly find healthy places. Simply download the app by searching for MISO in the iTunes or Google Play Store, or by clicking on the links below. So hi Alana, it's really nice to have you here today. Thanks for jumping into this call with me. So for those of you who don't know Alana, Alana, would you like to give a very quick introduction to who you are and what you do?
Absolutely, and thank you for having me. So my name is Alana Roach, and I'm with my company called Explorations of Self. Explorationsofself.com. We are a mindful travel-based community, and we travel all over the world, basically spreading yoga and sound healing and ecstatic dance and tantra. It's a really beautiful calling, and we just got back from Peru. We're headed to Costa Rica in January, and then Nicaragua, and so many different places after that.
Sounds fantastic. And how did you get into this whole journey of yoga and setting up this amazing program?
So yoga found me when I was about 23. I had just gotten off of about a 10-year bender. I was an addict to alcohol and drugs. So when I got sober, I had somebody ask me if I wanted to go to a yoga class. And usually I would have said no, but something said go. So I went. And ever since then, I fell in love. The feelings of anxiety and, that sort of sense of not knowing what to do with yourself all disappeared after that first class. And I knew I had found something that was bigger than me. Amazing. So I started to practice a lot. I ended up moving to India a couple of years later, which we can get into on another podcast because that's just equally as miraculous. But while I was in India, I was there for yoga, and I was having a hard time finding the yoga that I really love to do. Really good quality vinyasa is really hard to locate out there because they're very, ancient with how they practice, which is great. I didn't know about MISO back then. But at the time we were traveling the Himalayas, and I just ended up practicing on my own. I found my own home practice. And so from that, I decided that I really love to travel and I really love yoga. How can I bring these two things together so I can bring really great yoga to the masses internationally? So as soon as I got back, I started teaching full time. I left college and I left my 9-to-5. And I started this business. Just less than a year later, I moved to Costa Rica, and that's when everything started. And it's just snowballed from there. It's been really, really great.
It's amazing. So what is your own, personal yoga practice like? Like, do you practice a couple of times a week, on top of your teaching, and what style do you practice?
So I was trained as an Ashtangi. But that came from a long background of Baptiste, which led to restorative, of course, and Kundalini and Tantra. So I practiced about 6 days a week. I try to take Saturdays off, which is the Ashtangi standard. I believe they've moved it to Sunday now, but astrologically it makes sense for me to stay with Saturdays as an off days. And my practice has transformed. It used to be very strict Ashtanga, but I started to get hurt. So then it would be Ashtanga one day and then restorative the next. And now I've really evolved into sort of a flow in the beginning with a lot of Kundalini and Tantra, a lot of breath work, and then a lot of long holds, some forest yoga and yin at the end with a really, really long, healthy meditation.
Mm-hmm. Sounds amazing. And you also do Reiki, if I'm not wrong?
I do.
So tell us a little bit more about your Reiki practice and what you offer.
Sure. My Reiki has also evolved over the years. Ever since I opened myself up to really receiving my gifts, psychically and otherwise, my Reiki sort of just started out as, hey, I know I'm really intuitive and an empath, and I can feel other people's feelings, and I'd love to channel that into, divine working through me. So I got a certificate. And then a couple years later, after just practicing on myself and doing some remote healings, I went to a sweat lodge in Costa Rica where a Reiki master did Reiki on me the whole time, and she helped me open up my solar plexus chakra. And after that, I was asked to do Reiki for somebody, and I hadn't really done it in a long time. And so I sort of reluctantly said, okay. And what happened was this beautiful hour-long session where we ended up doing a past life regression, where I went back into her past lives and told her some things about her current life. Was just super profound. I wouldn't have known any other way. I helped her cut cords from some past lives. I had her grandmother come through and tell me that she wanted her dad to quit smoking, which turned out to be true. I saw her, childhood home, and talked to her about some things she could do to release that. So now when I offer Reiki, I offer it in 3 different tiers. One is just a regular attuning, which I can do remotely or in person. Another one is a Reiki tuning with some past life regression. And then the other one is a Reiki tuning with PLR and cord cutting. So it's beautiful, and I'm like really excited to see what happens in the next 10 years.
That's an amazing story. Thank you so much for your time. It's really great to hear from you. Just, even learning about your own practice, even on the topic of Reiki, which I've always been interested in, but unfortunately do not know that much about. So it's great to hear from you about that. Thank you so much for your time, Alana.
Thank you.
Let's catch up soon.
Of course.
Have a great day in Costa Rica. All right. Hi guys, this is Chris again. Don't forget to keep tuning in for more podcast interviews with health, fitness, and wellness experts. If you have a feedback or question for today's episode, get in touch with me at hello@givememiso.com.